Just how quickly can a noob become an obbying pro? To find out, Oceansquid and I have each picked a friend with no obbying experience, and we're going to train them every day until they can beat an intense tower. Whoever can coach their student the fastest will be dubbed the best obby sensei and win the challenge. For my disciple, I have picked my brother from the My 9-Year-Old Brother Guesses JTO Tower Names from the Acronyms series.
And for my disciple, I chose Kai. Let's start this contest by seeing how far our noobs can get in their first intense tower, POIE. They have 30 minutes. Kai was quick to take an early lead, but right before reaching floor 2, he encountered the first one-stud jump, which is notoriously one of the hardest jumps for beginners. And since Kai is a beginner, he completely missed.
I'd go sideways on that. It's just easier.
But surprisingly, he was able to hit the jump by jumping sideways on his second attempt.
Up here?
Yeah, okay.
Watch out, because these falls, so you're gonna let go.
Oh! Dude! But clearly there were still some communication issues. Since my noob was failing the first few floors, I decided that the best plan of action was to sabotage my opponent instead. I did this by equipping the most obnoxious flares I could to block his view.
Is this the strat? You see what I'm doing up here?
He's scared, bro. He's scared.
See, I body blocked him.
And while Nick and his brother were stuck on the first floor, I was able to use my healing gun to help Kai bypass the kill bricks on floor 2. After the kill bricks though, there were 3 thin tight ropes in a row, something that new players are notoriously awful at. But since Kai had a guide, I was able to show him proper technique, and he crushed all 3 tight ropes on his first attempt. Before reaching floor 3, there was one last test of skill, and with the other team still on floor 1, Kai could take all the time that he needed for floor 3. But he still had to hit another one-stud. Oh! And while Kai was unfortunately back at the start, Jonathan was finally able to break the floor 1 loop fail curse. Well, kind of.
Yes. Alright, that falls. Come back.
Oh, shoot.
This went on for a while.
Yes, yes, yes! Congratulations.
Unfortunately, right as Jonathan needed his guide the most, this idiot fell to the bottom. And when he made it back...
Alright, don't go. No!
At least Kai was finally able to complete the one-stud.
Don't just ignore the man.
Oh!
Kai, how do you fail that?
What happened? It looks like no one's going to be beating Intense today, meaning it's time for training. Each team will have 24 hours to train their noob before they have to compete again in a new Intense tower. To start my training with Kai, I took him to a tower difficulty chart obby, with the thought being that if he could reach an Intense tower in this game, he would be ready to beat a real Intense tower. We absolutely breezed through all the starter difficulties until we reached the hard floors. But after grinding for over an hour, Kai managed to beat both the hard and the difficult tower, meaning all that was left was the challenging tower. This was going to take a while. To give Kai credit, even though he had some embarrassing fails, he stayed dedicated and managed to beat the challenging tower in under 30 minutes. Since training Kai to beat an Intense tower legit would take forever, I had the devious idea of training him in glitches so he could cheese the Intense tower. He learned the dance clip, the ledge grab, the 2-stud lodge, the trust bounce, whatever this glitch is, the cheer glitch, and the lodge. Kai was hitting some crazy glitches, but then we got to one that was just too difficult for him. The only way forward then was going the alternate route, which involved hitting a 10-stud ramp. Kai must have tried this jump over 100 times, but no matter how many ways he tried it, he just couldn't hit the jump. That was until he had an idea.
Wait, what if I just try the other way?
I'm so much worse at rapping this. What? What?
I still have no clue how that worked. Kai managed to get through a couple more stages before he finally called it quits after reaching the stage 44 midair corner clip, meaning he ended up as the second furthest person in our server, second only to his mentor, who was easily able to beat the rest of the stages. After playing some more questionable obby games, we ended off the night back in Ito. At this point, Kai was having some lag, leading to some pretty goofy moments.
What? Now sideways again so you can win.
No! Looks like Kai still needs to work on his one-stud jumps. But don't worry, he ended up coming back and beating the tower legit.
In the meantime, I worked with my brother to sculpt him into the pro that I needed to win this challenge. I wanted to make him more comfortable with harder jumps and client objects, and so without even leaving Ring 1, I knew just where to start. Now, it's not like I thought Johnny could beat Killjoys on his first try or anything, but reality slapped me in the face pretty hard when he failed the first jump. 3 times in a row. At this point, I knew we weren't here for the win pad. Right now, I'm just putting him through this for exposure. Once he got past those starting jumps though, the rest of the floor was easy peasy. But upon reaching floor 2, he ran into every beginner player's worst nightmare. Transparent one-stud jumps with no safety net. And so he failed, and failed again, and kept failing, until we just decided maybe the other path is a better idea. But when my brother failed a one-stud wrap, his lack of training was really starting to show. But after several more demoralizing falls, and never making it past floor 2, it became clear that if he wants to beat Ocean's student, I'm gonna have to train him directly on the most common jumps he's gonna face. So I decided that he should begin by mastering truss jumps. I was proud to see my little bro zoom through the first handful of stages so we could get to that real good stuff. We ran into our first roadblock in this weird spinner section, but I let him struggle through it so he could get a better feel for client object gameplay and timing. However, after about 5 minutes of persevering, he actually made it through. Unfortunately, that next level was a dead end for him since he couldn't handle the combination of truss flicking, turning around, and then weaving through that hole in the wall. But seeing how 30 minutes ago, he didn't even know what a truss flick was, I feel pretty good about his progress right now.
Alright, that's enough from you, Nick. It's time that I share my secret. This whole time while Kai's been playing, I've been stalking him using my favorite tower tracking tool, jto.pro. This isn't even sponsored, by the way, I just think it's a cool tool to track progress. You can use the jto.pro site for a variety of games, customize your completion cards, climb the leaderboard, or you can use the jto.pro Discord bot in supported servers. Anyway, it's time for the second intense tower.
SOHP starts out with the killbrick boosting section, followed by a killbrick spinner on some trusses. The amount of damage parts in this opening gameplay meant that Kai would be at a severe advantage with Oceansquid's heal gun. We spent the next 20 minutes stuck on floor 1, and the furthest Johnny ever made it was just about halfway through. While Johnny was grinding, I spotted Oceansquid and Kai resorting to the lag high jump glitch to skip the first floor, which they spent the entire rest of their time attempting, only for me to just walk up and flex on them by hitting it first try at the very end.
Looks like neither of our noobs were able to beat the intense tower, and since they couldn't even get past the first floor, we really needed to train. I thought that the best way to start Kai's training was by building our teamwork skills, and to do that, we played some 2-player Obby games. Oh! Are you kidding me? We're done. We're done with this game. But this time, it was me who rage quit. Next, I figured we could try to get a benchmark of Kai's skills. He maxed out at a 10.4 stud wrap. He somehow did this on the thin stud test.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Whoa! What? What? How did you do that?
He followed that up with a 12.5 stud long jump and a 3.5 stud stick out. Finally, we ended off the night back in Ito where Kai managed to beat 7 more towers. What did Ninja and his brother do for training, you might be wondering? Nothing. Yep, that's right. They were going into our third intense tower with no extra training.
Next, we traveled to the Garden of Ishal so our noobs could try their hand at Tower of Perilous Antipodes. Both noobs rushed through the opening gameplay and pressed the permanent floor 1 button with no problems. Johnny went on a streak and pushed his way through the first floor until he got bamboozled by this waterfall jump. In his attempts to climb back up, he just kept failing the spinner wraparound section. He finally made it back up and cleared the waterfall section, only to fail the very next obstacle. Still, we were doing better than Ocean's team, and I could tell that Kai was struggling hard. But by the time we had made it to floor 2, Kai and Ocean had already made it up to floor 3, and the pressure started to mount on me and my brother. Ocean thought it would be funny to jump down to us and start jumping in our face. However, even with him buzzing around us like a mosquito with his Sans Gaster Blaster aura, we still claimed our button progress and made it to floor 3. Meanwhile, Kai was still on floor 1, putting us in a solid lead. However, it didn't last, as Jonathan would very soon meet Kai at the bottom of the waterfall river on floor 1. He never recovered from that fall, and Kai never made it back to floor 3 either, meaning we had yet another crushing defeat on our hands.
At this point, Ninja and I both agreed that at the current rate, it could take months to beat an intense tower. So we both agreed that the best course of action was letting our noobs train directly in their next intense tower that they would be facing off in. And since Ninja was leaving for vacation soon, both noobs had plenty of time to train.
After another failed intense run, I looked to the great American school system for inspiration on how my brother could learn faster. You see, Johnny doesn't need any of this hands-on learning or one-on-one training that I'm giving him. What he really needs is a lecture. But before delivering my presentation to Johnny, I saw Kai was all alone in the practice lobby without Ocean Squid. Okay, so I've changed my display name and avatar to look exactly like Ocean Squid's, so I can give Kai fake advice.
Alright, Kai. You ready to practice?
Yeah, of course.
Where are you?
I'm on the second floor right now.
Alright, get back down here.
Oh, we're starting over?
Yeah. Alright. That's easy.
Wait. Hold on. That's not in the game.
Huh?
You're supposed to, like, jump to the block that you're just on. Why did you jump
No,
down
you
there?
jump down here. This is
Nah,
the...
bro, you're sending me mixed messages, bro. You're tripping. You just told me.
What are you even talking about?
Now that Kai's been thoroughly sabotaged, it's time to educate my brother for real. Hello, Johnny, and welcome to the Obby Academy. Let's start with Lesson 1. I will show you the anatomy of a noob. Noobs are known to have tiny brains. Scientists believe that this is caused by fragile, while ladders can be adjusted having a 24 hours and enter shift. I bring you to the final assignment, which is to go to the practice lobby of hell and to practice the upcoming intense towers before the actual competition. After several days of training on their own, the noobs got together for what is hopefully the final time to attempt the steeple of buoyant automations. Will they ever claim an intense win, or will their lack of experience cause another disappointing loss? While Johnny struggled to get off the ground, Kai appeared to be dominating Floor 1's gameplay with ease. Fortunately, Johnny was able to get a grip after a bit of a warm-up.
Alright, on Phonem, they kind of catching up, but we don't... This is actually sort of like a race now.
Lilianis is on the outside section.
Wait, he's in here now. Oh, never mind, he's just on the outside.
No, he's on the outside.
He's got to do the entire
Let's
outside.
do the whole outside section now.
But even though we were moving fast, Kai still had a strong lead, and so I needed to make sure my brother wouldn't fall again. The way things are going, my brother's only chance is if Kai slips up in these last few floors.
This is the final floor?
This is the final floor, yeah.
Holy!
This is where I get stuck.
Holy! Dude, this could be so fast over, so quickly over.
Dude, he's like flying through this.
No, oh. You did it such a bad way, but it still works! That's GG's!
No! It's been like 5 minutes.
And who would have thought that this week-long challenge could end in only 8 minutes? Kai put up a generational performance today, but ultimately it was Ocean's training that won him this battle, making Oceansquid50 the best Obby sensei and the winner of the Ito proxy war.